I want to talk to Micah, who is calling in from Washington. Micah, you're live on Truth Wanted. What's up?
Oh, not too much. How are you?
Doing good. Just trying to figure out what's going on with this hotel here. A lot of scary stuff happening so far. But I see you are a paranormal investigator, sir.
Yes. Actually, it's Misha, but that's okay.
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 Yeah,
I've been a paranormal Oh, go ahead.
Misha. Yeah, sorry. I read that as Micah. Misha. Yes, you've been a paranormal investigator, but you're also an atheist.
Yes, sir. I've been a paranormal investigator for about 15 years. I started when I was a theist, and I would remember going to investigations with the presupposition that ghosts were real. And then after leaving religion, it's made it easier to not, I would say, spoil any sort of evidence with my own thoughts.
Okay, so you don't think that there's good evidence for ghosts now, since you're not a believer, or like, what's your thoughts on that?
I don't think we have any definitive proof that ghosts are real. In fact, what I would tell people is that if ghosts were in fact real, there would be no need for investigators anymore, because why would we investigate something that we already know?
Yeah, I think that's a good point, which brings me to the question of are you still a paranormal investigator then, if you don't believe? Because like, what would be the point of that?
I'm still an investigator because I'm still open to the idea of finding something after death, but it would be nice to find. Whether or not we actually find it is, that would be something mind-blowing.
I guess that's true. Yeah, like, I guess this brings up the question of what would constitute good evidence for the paranormal, right? Or at least ghosts in particular. I don't know because the paranormal, that's kind of like a big umbrella phrase. I don't know if that would include like goblins or something, what would be in that? But like, do you have like a good criteria as far as what would be good evidence?
I think the best thing we could do is if we could actually catch something that is a full-out apparition on live TV where there's no doubt that what everyone is seeing is in fact a ghost. But there's always going to be people who are going to say, oh, it's CGI, or, it's someone's plotting something, which is fair.
I mean, we're live right here, and I may have just saw a ghost like just 5 minutes ago. So maybe that would count as evidence.
I heard that in the audio.
Towards that, yeah, that was kind of spooky. So maybe that's their evidence. I don't even think it would be good. I mean, obviously, I may have just encountered the paranormal, but like in reality, what someone would have to do to fully convince me of that, it's kind of weird, right? Because if the paranormal is supposed to be this thing that goes beyond what's capable in nature, then everything that we could use to actually measure it like wouldn't make sense, because it follows like the rules of nature, right? So like me seeing something, if I see something, we know how seeing works. That's like light bouncing off of objects and like affecting the rods and cones in my eyes. So like, are ghosts interacting with nature enough to where like that interaction is happening, or is there like some sort of signal going directly to my brain? Like, it doesn't make sense. It has to interact with the natural in some way. So I wouldn't even know what good evidence for that would look like, because there doesn't seem to be any like good rules for that. I don't know what you guys think.
No, that makes sense to me. Like I have no idea. I haven't done any myself, so I can only speak so much. But I would have no idea if what they claim to be tools to detect the supernatural are actually detecting the supernatural. I haven't done personally enough research into that, but it looks like it's just measuring some weird stuff and vague stuff, and then trying to draw some kind of interpretation from that. And I remember we had a ghost hunter on one time, a former ghost hunter, and then I asked them that. It's like, what makes you believe that you're getting better and you're getting the correct information? Like, say there is some spirit that's trying to give information to you. How are you verifying that the information they're giving to you is actually the information they're giving to you? Like, I don't know if there's a metric for how to determine if we're anywhere even close. So I keep a very big skeptical eye on it, but at the same time, I can't say for sure that there isn't anything like that. That so far we haven't had a good means to detect, and it hasn't happened often enough for us to really, it's like for it to seem to matter. But I'm open to being proven wrong, and that's why I'm part of Truth Wanted.
Oh yeah, same here. Like I said, all my years in the field, I would love to be proven wrong. My biggest part in the field is I'm an audio analyst, so I work with EVPs or electronic voice phenomenon, and a lot of those. I mean, to me, I don't know if this is a thing, but I think about pareidolia. I don't know if audible pareidolia is a thing.
Yeah,
or
it is.
like,
It's
I'll go
absolutely
through investigation.
Yeah.
Definitely.
Oh, it is. Oh, good.
Oh yeah.
Like, I'll go
Ask
through an
anybody that's
investigation.
played any Beatles songs for you backwards in the last like 50 years, because like
Oh,
people
no
say
doubt.
that there's all kinds of satanic messages and stuff in there.
Wait, Helter Skelter doesn't
Right.
have any
Yeah,
messages in it? I thought it did.
I think the Beatles were beyond Satan. I think they were talking to like other deities entirely. It wouldn't be Satanism. They were, I don't know, they were doing something else for that. But anyway, yeah, I don't know. EVPs, EVPs. It's just like that. That stuff could be anything most of the time. I don't know. Anytime you see the ghost hunter shows, like obviously that's like looking at a supermodel in a magazine and thinking, wow, they must look so great, but you don't know all the Photoshop that goes behind a lot of those pictures. It's the same thing with ghost hunter shows. Like they always put stuff in there, even though there's true hardcore believers. But like then you have to ask questions. Well, what about like all the amateur like ghost hunters and stuff, and all these EVPs? And honestly, like any of the stuff I've seen, I don't know about you in your investigations, but personally, from what I've seen, I haven't seen anything too impressive that has maybe say, wow, that's definitely a ghost and not like a person in the background or an animal or whatever it could be.
Yeah. So let's keep up the good investigations. So we got
with.
Hey, Misha, I want to keep talking to you, and we'll give you some ways to keep engaging with the community, but we got a lot of stuff going on, so we're going to move on from this call. But thank you so much for calling us and giving us your insight. And please, we'll near the end of the show, we'll talk about some ways to keep talking with us. So let's let the conversation keep going.
Yes. Thank you, Misha. Thanks for the call in.